Hello and welcome to an overview of IntelliPaaS. I want to give you a quick overview on how we connect different systems with another using the IntelliPaaS platform. As you can see here, I'm logged into one of our demo instances. This particular environment is on our Azure instance in London. So we're just going to be signing in as one of our partners here. We've got the credentials saved. You can log in. Obviously, IntelliPaaS supports multi-tenanted environments as well. So as a partner, you'll be able to work with your customers in that respect. Now, what's happening here is initially you're going to be greeted by a dashboard that gives you just high-level overview. A slight little spoiler, there's going to be some additional advanced analytics coming very soon here. You can also see environments like the queues in terms of what's been happening. Quite a few records here. You see over 100 pages already. The attachments we're going to be showing you in a second. You can see which pods are ultimately responsible for the integrations, whether they're up and running or not. You can see that they're up and running in this case and that they're running on our London test server on Azure. There's all sorts of logging files here and there as well. The exciting part, however, are the flows. So this is where the integration is built. And I'm just going to be showing you a few examples of how you can connect different systems with another, as an example, to Jira systems. Why would this be relevant? Let's say you are an ITSM provider. On the one side, you've got tickets that are being created by a user, but then they actually have to be dealt with by a different entity on the other side. So a classic example might be me raising a telecommunications ticket. My internet service is down, but then there's somebody else that actually has to act on this particular ticket that is being raised. So how does this work? There's a couple of different parts. One is we're creating a Jira issue, and you can see there's a bidirectional sync. Attachments can be synced, comments can be synced, and then any sort of updates that have been made on these tickets are bidirectionally synced as well. To give you an example, it's actually pretty straightforward. We're going to start with this one here, creating the Jira issue. You literally have a series of drag and drop connectors that you can pick from your fields here on the left-hand side. There's source systems and target systems. Source systems always start on the left, as you can see, and then it flows from left to right. There's also some static values that you can add. In this particular case here, we have defined a certain Jira project key that is associated to this particular instance, just to make sure that we map it correctly. Now, the same thing happens on the other side, just in reverse. When it comes to attachments, I'm just going to give you one quick example as well. It looks very similar but different. Attachments are being synced, but then there's a transformation that happens here regarding the source and target to ensure that the issue ID is adequately mapped. So this we will focus on in a second. The further parts and what's happening behind the scenes are ultimately all sorts of executable scripts. So in here, you can basically, in the pods, you decide which particular scripts are running, and that's where the magic of IntelliPaaS comes from. Because it's not just a low-code, no-code environment, but it really allows for pro-code. In this case here, you can see that just an adapter configuration is loaded. I can show you one other quick example in a second. So in the details here, you've got multiple different systems that, and out-of-the-box connectors that are being loaded within it. These are defined as jar modules. So in here, you've got various different jar modules that perform different operations. These are kind of like our out-of-the-box connectors that from there can be customized. We've got a series of developers that are helping build more and more integration connectors as well. The beauty from here is all of that can then be literally opened up and built and customized to whatever liking as well. Let's stay on the Jira integration connector, for example. Here you can, for example, see what different systems we're targeting. There's the first system, which has a particular target URL. You can refer to logins, which are then safely stored in a vault. I'm going to show you in a second. And then you can see that here, for example, some respective project IDs already preloaded that in the end can just be referred to. Now, as we're going, and this is the final part, we want to show you into the vault, you can see that here you can create different password vaults, which you can give unique identifiers. So these are ultimately being referred to in the codes themselves. We've got Jira System 1 as an example, Jira System 2. This could be any other Jira System 3 that we might want to connect to at some point. We can give it any given description, put in the login details that we have, and then as the password, we can either put in the password, or what's more recommended is that we put in the API keys that are then associated to that. Let me give you one final little example. When you go onto this here, everything is 256-bit encrypted. You then have the description, which is completely, as needed, and the Jira, like the name Jira2, is ultimately what's being referred to in the code. All right, so you're probably curious to see what happens if we were to let these flows come into action. So let's go to Jira. We go to the Jira instance, and in fact, let me share the entire screen because we need to show you two environments. There's this one here, and then I've got another one, which you shall see hopefully now. All right, so what we see here, you can still see the IntelliPaaS environment on this one side. You can see our first Jira instance that we've linked. This is one of our demo accounts we're using. You can then also see a second Jira instance on the left-hand side of the screen, which you can see is a completely different account, completely different environment. Now, what we want to do is we want to create a ticket. So we're going to be going into one of the environments here. Let's pick this one. And this particular board here, as you know, with Jira, there's particular project IDs that define the respective environments. Here you can see two different ones at the very top in the navigation bar. You can see all sorts of tickets have been previously synced already. What we will do is on the one side, we will create a ticket, and then we will see what happens on the other side as well for that. So let's start with this system here, and we just say we have a network outage urgent. So network outage urgent. Oh, but then we actually forgot to add something. So that means we can use the comments in here, and we can add a comment. Please ensure that you assign Bob to the job. So what exactly happens now? You can go in here and you can see in the logs that immediately everything is running. You can probably see here some further time, and then eventually, like, it picks it up in real time, and then it's literally going back to sleep, waiting for something else to come. What happens on this side? In a second, it's going to refresh. So we're just going to force refresh it, makes it easier. Scroll to the bottom, see, boom, we have a network outage, urgent. Once you click into that, you even see, please ensure that you assign Bob to the job. Okay, great. Let's respond on this side here. See, there's no response just yet. On this side here, we'll be saying, no problem. Can you send location details? So let's add that to it. There's an update now that has been sent. And again, let me show you what's happening here. Once you refresh this, you can see that additional information has come in, and it's basically done running the execution on it. So now we go here. No problem. Can you send location details? Okay. We'll do. In fact, we can probably save the comment. We can just go straight and attach it. So let's just pretend that this one here is our screenshot of the location. So I'm just going to go add attachment. Quicker. Here we are. That's the attachment. We upload it. It says it's successfully attached. So what exactly happens here? You might remember that in the back, we set up an attachment integration as well. So that in this case, I think it's the 2-to-1 that's actually currently being triggered. It works bidirectional. That in here, it automatically detects that something's happening. It pushes the attachment over, it pushes the file name over, but then that issue ID, something's happening with it. Now, let me show you what's actually happening. So in here, we've got an attachment section. And what we can do in the meantime, we can load this to, let's just quickly reload this because it's gonna be appearing on this side. You can see the attachment is currently being loaded, and boom, there you have it as an attachment on the first system. So what happens here? So you can actually see that the source system was Jira-to, and that has sent the following attachment to the other one. So we don't store attachments. We refer to them only. So this one here, I mean, given the demo server, we are storing them, but you in a customer production environment can decide where all your attachments are being stored. We, as IntelliPaaS, do not store them. So all we're doing is we're creating a referral ID. And that's really what's happening for the following reason, and that is to limit the amount of bandwidth that is going back and forth. Because otherwise, that very same exchange every time we're doing an update here would be sent back and forth, back and forth. So what we're going to be doing is we're literally just referring to this in any further ticket exchanges in this particular instance that is happening. Behind the scene, you don't see the details. You only see what type of ID it is. Again, everything is 256-bit encrypted. You see the source system, the file name would be the only identifier here. But in this case, it's a screenshot. In some other cases, it might just be location date, whatever is being sent. One thing you might be curious about is what is a ticket store? And that is really just a mapping between what happens between a source and a target system. It maps the associated ticket IDs, in this case 36, between the source and the target system. You can see that we've had various ticket exchanges here. The moment we were to delete any of these entries, we were to update anything, it would create a brand new ticket on the other side. So because we don't want to recreate new tickets again and again and again, that's why we've got this currently called ticket store to ultimately just help with the association between the source and the target system. So I hope this helps to give you a little bit of an overview of what we can do. If you found this helpful, please let us know. If you've got any questions, please also let us know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.